Hello, and welcome to the Drug Life Cycle Minute. I'm your host, Philip Day. My guest today is Dr. Mukesh Kumar, the Chief Innovation Officer of Drug Life Cycle DLTA. Hello, Dr. Kumar. Good to see you again.
Hello, Philip. Good seeing you too.
Today, our topic concerns minority participation in clinical trials. Specifically, how can minority participation reverse rising healthcare costs? And let's give a little background here. 23 years after the National Institutes of Health created the Revitalization Act to increase the number of women and minorities in medical research, these groups still remain sometimes underrepresented in clinical trials. Dr. Kumar, why do you think that may still be the case?
Well, there are some historical episodes that the minorities have not forgotten. There were some episodes where minorities were mistreated while being on trials. Women were not even allowed to participate in trials for a long time. So many of those things have led to a perception that minorities get hurt in clinical trials. It may not be true anymore, but these perceptions do help keep the minorities out of clinical trials. It is changing. In the recent years, there are more minorities participating in trials, but still the number of minority participants in clinical trials is much, much below what it should be, and that is creating a health problem because many diseases that affect minorities have never been tested. Drugs for those diseases have not been tested in minorities, which creates a problem for providing good therapies for minorities. But it's on a mend. It is getting better now than it used to be earlier.
Would you explain to me the provider problem? What is that?
Which problem?
The provider problem.
Well, there are not enough minority providers as well. So it's not just that the clinical trials are not getting enough participants. There are not enough minority investigators in clinical trials. The number of investigators from minority communities have increased in the recent past, and that is why there are more minority participants in clinical trials than they used to be. So it was a two-edged issue where first patients were not very eager to participate in trials, and then there were not many minority investigators who they would trust and participate in trials if they told them. So they are both are getting better now than they used to be earlier.
Okay, I see. What actions are being taken between minorities and clinical drug companies to resolve any issues, like you were saying, perceptions that might still be there to encourage minority participation?
Well, there is a lot of educational activities ongoing to educate communities about the importance of participating in trials. There is, as I said earlier, more participation from minority investigators. There are also a lot of initiatives by FDA to encourage minorities to participate in trials. So together, they are all contributing to more participation for minority communities in clinical trials. But we have a long way to go, and we certainly need to do a lot more work in this direction to get a reasonable participation from minorities, which is truly representative of the proportion of population that is affected by diseases.
I think this is a topic that we definitely could revisit in the future because a lot of people like myself are unaware of minorities and the issues that have occurred. So, Dr. Kumar, thank you very much for your information today. And we want to thank our audience for joining us for the Drug Life Cycle Minute. You can find out more about us at www.druglifecycle.com. Be sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and also be sure to take control with DLTA. Have a healthy day. Bye-bye.